Hello viewer, today it's going to be chainsaw day. So chainsaw, extension cable, and we're going to go out the square window or back door and up the steps, out the back, across the garden to the cherry branch, which had fallen down. I cropped it a while ago, so it's now just basically sticks and branch which needs to be cut up. And after I've cut it up, I will take it across to our pile of, I don't know, wooden detritus, which I will then add it to that, and that makes it a little bit neater. I might, whilst the chainsaw's out, possibly go to the other apple tree which had fallen down over here somewhere, which is mostly just branches. And since the digger man's going to come along soon, I might chop that up to make the space a little bit more accessible. All right, I'll put you on a tripod over there somewhere, and you can watch me cut things up. Well, it's a 45-metre extension lead, and it only goes to there. I could do with another 10 metres. Anyway, I'll move the logs around, cut them up, see what happens. Health and safety, look. fairly strenuous. There's only one bit left to do, but the chain's getting very hot. So I'm probably going to have to dismantle it and just make sure that the chain oil is getting to it. I don't know why, maybe it's blocked, but getting close to being finished. I'm going to go and have a quick drink and then come back, finish off, leave the chainsaw to cool down. Right. Well, that's all in pieces. So I'm going to take one wheelbarrow. Where shall I put it? If I put it over there with the other wood, it won't dry out because it'll get rained on. I might put it in the columbage barn. At least it's relatively undercover. I'll do that. I'll get rid of this, come and do the rest of it. Job done. Three wheelbarrow loads. I've saved 3 little bits there for wood turning. They'll probably crack, but we'll see what happens. That chainsawing was at the end of August, so I just thought I'd show you what the field looks like behind us at that time. As you can see on the left here, tall maize. We're just approaching the field behind the buffalo farm here on the right, and it looks like we're actually driving down a corridor of maize, tall maize either side of us. When I was finishing off cutting up and cleaning up, I noticed that there was another branch on the farmer's side of the fence, so that needed to be dealt with, and I did that in September, which is what you'll see next. Here's our turning. Well, it's the right thing to do, isn't it? So, our cherry tree, the farmer's field. A branch falls off in his field, which he's got planted up with corn. So, the last thing I wanted to happen was for his combine harvester thing to come through here and get fouled up on these branches. So, I left a message with him to look out for that. And he's obviously left a few branches, a few pieces of corn left over. So I'm going to cut up all of the frothy bits now, all of the small branches, put them in bags to get rid of them, and then another day I'll chainsaw up the bigger pieces, get rid of that. Right, it's all the lightweight stuff off. Take this back, come back with a chainsaw, another day. Hello viewer. Well, it's another day and another shirt, and it's time to cut up the branch. I brought with me today my gorilla trolley, again an auction purchase. Hopefully I can fit more in there than in the wheelbarrow. I have a nasty feeling it'll fall over, but we'll see. So on we go. Now, you've seen me chainsawing before without any facial protection. At my wood turning club, one of the guys there works in a forest, volunteers for a charity that looks after a forest. He had a chainsaw accident. The chain broke, came up and whipped him in the face. He was wearing one of these. He still has scars and will have. So I'm going to wear this. Previously, I've not worn much in the way of protection. Always wear gloves, but this, it makes sense, guys. And I've met somebody firsthand who's suffered from a simple accident, life-changing. Hello, Roger. let's get going. Let's be a little bit safer than last time. Oh, I'm obviously doing this wrong. That trolley is going to fall over. So I'm going to take a few logs off of it, take the trolley, unload it, have a drink, come back and do some more in a minute. See you in a sec. I think I figured out what the problem is. When I cut down with the chainsaw, it appears that I actually put too much pressure on one side and I actually start to cut a curve. So when I'm halfway into the log, it's binding and catching so that the chain can't move any further. That's why I pulled it out and was using just the tip to try and nibble away at the inside. However, anybody who've read any of the safety notes for chainsaws, never, ever, ever use the tip. You'll get kickback, it'll come back, whack you in the face. Not a good idea. So don't do what I do. It's not a good idea. All right, safety lesson over. Time to dismantle my cables and cart my logs away. Hopefully no more branches will fall off. I was debating whether to cut off that torn branch up there, because I was always assuming that cutting it off and possibly sealing it with something might stop the tree dying. But I read on a blog somewhere that it's a good idea to leave it all furry and fuzzy, because the critters, the bugs, can get in there, make their nests. To me, that means they'll kill the tree. But it's nature, isn't it? All right, see you in a bit.